Good afternoon and welcome to CVM Live, the noon edition on CVM Television, online at cvmtv.com. And remember, you can download our CVM TV Smart app from the Google Play Store. I'm Whitney Levy. The Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, is suggesting that delays are causing corruption to make its way into the justice system. More in this report from CVM Live's Rohan Daly.
The Justice Minister is suggesting that delays are causing corruption to make its way into the justice system. Addressing justices of the peace in Trelawney recently, Minister Chuck said 4 cases of fraudulent divorces have come to the attention of his ministry. This, he says, is because individuals are paying court personnel to process their documents.
They are being delayed because corruption is taking place. So if you pay money, you get a divorce. But it's not a good divorce you get. Recently, some people came to the Ministry of Justice for a marriage license. And we said, well, are you a divorcee? Say, yes, we're a divorcee. Let us see the divorce paper. Came with a decree absolute, signed by a judge. What's the name of the judge? James Brown. Never heard of that judge before.
He said in order to prevent this corruption, the process for divorce and other activities must be done faster. Corruption was not the only issue he highlighted and said that justices of the peace have a role to play in the development of the Jamaican society as a whole. He charged them to be leaders in their various communities.
We are determined that Jamaica should take its rightful place in the civilized, prosperous, peaceful, great society that it can become. And believe me, there's no better set of people to drive it than you, the justice of the peace. Whoever single one of you are persons of unblemished character and of unquestionable integrity. And you are the people in the community who must be proactive and stand out as the leaders.
Rohan Daly, CVM Live.
Local exporters are again being reminded of the need for full compliance with the Food Safety Modernization Act and certain key components which could cause implications for Jamaicans exporting to the United States and Canada. According to Managing Director of the Technological Solutions Limited, Andre Gordon, the key focus for Jamaicans would be the preventative control for human foods rule and the foreign supplier verification rule.
With these 2 rules, what the U.S. food safety authorities have said is you need to meet these requirements. You meet these requirements either by complying with the preventive controls for human foods rules. I just call them the PC rules because it's easier. You either must comply with the PC rules, and if you comply with the PC rules, then you just need to show us that, and you're good. Or if you don't comply with the PC rules or are excluded, because they do have some exclusions, then you must comply with the foreign supplier verification rules.
He says it is critical that local exporters note the cutoff dates for compliance being May 30, 2017 and March 19, 2018 if they wish to provide food items to the U.S. and Canada.
Even if you do not fall in the category of small exporters, that is, you export more than $1 million US, you are required to comply with the FSVP. And the FSVP says you should comply with the preventive controls rules or systems equivalent to it, as you'll see.
Gordon was speaking at the JEA's Foreign Supplier Verification Program Forum in Kingston on Tuesday. Clarendon residents are looking forward to the presence of energy company New Fortress, which will play a significant role in the generation of clean and renewable energy in Jamaica. As part of efforts to start building goodwill and a partnership of mutual respect within the communities in which the company will operate, New Fortress Energy recently hosted an inaugural back-to-school fair for the children of the Jamaica refinery communities. The event was considered particularly special since the company was giving back even before it fully started operations.
It is a very good gesture for this new Fortress Energy company, who will be doing some construction work in respect of gas pipelines from the Jamaica shipping port up to the Jamaica refinery plant. And it's indeed good because of the fact that they have not yet started the work, and they are already giving back to the people in the communities.
Jamaica obviously is very special. We are bringing natural gas to the country, and this is something we have been trying to get for 40 years to drive economic prosperity and growth. Jamaica is very special. We came up here. We have just signed a deal with JPS and the government to, to supply gas to the Jamaica plant, and we think the community is wonderful.
This is a company which is now will have the contract to install pipeline from the Jamaica port to the refinery here in Hayes. This pipeline is, I think it's liquid gas, I think it is, and it will be able to enhance our capability in terms of reduction in our high energy bill, which is good.
The police in St. James are cautioning against residents who intended to move around with large sums of cash without police help ahead of the festive season. This comes after a robbery in the downtown Montego Bay area of the parish left at least one lawman injured, 2 criminal suspects detained, and $500,000 returned.
A citizen was about to do some business transaction within the plaza in the township when 2 men attacked him with a knife, grabbed away his bag containing $500,000, and they started to move away. A policeman who was on duty directing traffic saw what was happening and quickly went in pursuit of those men. He caught up with one of them. He was attacked, and a citizen came to his aid. And what happened is that they were able to actually arrest both men and recover the $500,000.
While commending the police officer who intervened and the citizen who assisted the officer, DSP Mackenzie says it points to the need for citizens to be vigilant in the town. He also added that the men will be charged for a number of offences, among them robbery.
One of the men who was involved in the robbery, he was shot in one of his legs and he is in hospital. The other one is now in police custody. The policeman was injured, he was treated, and so the investigations are ongoing.
Rescue workers in Mexico City are trying to reach a number of people they believe are still alive under the rubble of a school which collapsed in Tuesday's earthquake. Thousands of volunteers are out trying to help the police. We have more from the BBC.
After the horror of the earthquake, there's hope. These young children were pulled alive from the rubble of a primary school in the south of Mexico City. Rescuers searched overnight for others who may still be trapped. At least 20 children were killed here. It was on Tuesday lunchtime that the powerful earthquake struck Mexico. As buildings collapsed, people ran for cover. Across Mexico City, the search for survivors is continuing. As you can see, people are going in to try and help with the efforts. This 6-story office block in the distance is the focus of their work. Antonio and Dolores' son Juan worked on the 4th floor as an accountant. He called his parents every day. They last spoke hours before the quake hit. For the past day, they've watched as rescuers picked through the rubble, but there's still no sign of Juan. We still believe he'll make it out alive. I would dig him out myself if I could, Antonio tells me. Relief workers have been joined by hundreds of volunteers. Many have turned up with their own tools to do their bit.
We're building kits with first aid things like alcohol and band-aids and these things and that kind of stuff, so they can bring these trucks to the people that need it.
It's a good atmosphere because all the people want to help. All the Mexicans is here. All America Jamaican people, English people, British people, a lot of people want to help, and I think that it's good that all the people were here to.
At times, the crowd was asked to be silent so rescuers could call out to any survivors still stuck in the debris. More than 20 people have already been rescued from this building, but as time passes, the chance of people being reunited with their loved ones is becoming ever slimmer.
Hurricane Maria is continuing on its path of destruction across the Caribbean, now taking aim at the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. Forecasters fear it will strengthen and regain a major hurricane status. Maria has already made a direct hit on Puerto Rico, wiping out power on the entire island. Again, we turn to the BBC.
After the wind, the water. Early this morning, Puerto Rico issued a flash flood warning. The massive quantities of rain mean people here are being driven out of their homes again. They've been urged to get to higher ground, but that's easier said than done. Streets not already flooded are blocked by the wreckage of fallen trees and telegraph poles. The power's out across the whole island, and cell phone towers are down too.
To our fellow citizens in Puerto Rico, they are right now front and center in our thoughts and in our prayers. We want them to know that the federal response will be there. We want them to know that we are thinking of them first and foremost right now as they combat this very, very dangerous hurricane.
It was the strongest storm to hit the island since the 1920s. With winds over 150 miles an hour, forcing thousands to flee to safety. This is one of at least 500 shelters in Puerto Rico. Even here in this
With that, we take a break on the news at noon. Do stay with us.
Crime Stop Jamaica. 311 unsolved. Mr. Beresford Shorter and a visiting cousin arrived home from the airport only to be met by two gunmen. Mr. Shorter was immediately shot and his licensed firearm taken. The cousin was gun-butted and robbed. Beresford Shorter was pronounced dead at hospital. Crime Stop and concerned citizens are offering a reward totaling 200,000 Jamaican dollars plus US 3,900 for info leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.